Yeah,
Yeah.
that then really happened.
Okay, it's live.
All platforms.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Unmute myself. Alrighty. Happy Heritage Day. Happy Heritage Day. Els.
Thank you, sir. Same.
So, whatever heritage you've got, be proud of it. But most importantly, be lekker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's my mic? Shouldn't I have mics? You normally
have
give me mics.
one day.
Is that it?
Yes.
Camera and mic. Jeez, eh? Look at you.
Fancy schmancy.
Look at you. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one on time, like most times, not every time. Just do this like this here. Okay. People starting to join.
Yes.
Yeah. Where's my mic? How do I see how many people are actually on? Yeah, how do I see?
So, omdat jy ingelog is, kan jy nie sien nie.
Kan ek nie sien nie. Okay.
Okay.
No problems. We've got 1 minute.
Ons het 16 op Instagram. Jou profiel.
Welcome everyone to Heritage Day. Heritage Day. Okay, some people joining on with Max Instagram. Cool. Els, we're gonna kick it off.
We can, yeah.
Let's go. Balloon and residual payments. So we've done multiple seminars on this, and still, even today, someone asked me, Uncle B, what do you think? Should I take a balloon? Should I not take a balloon? What are the implications? I said, okay, cool. We'll have to do tonight. So please join. Send him the link. Hopefully you're already on, young man. And after this very short, very informative presentation, you'll understand the difference and make an informed decision. I'm a huge fan if you make an informed decision. Not a fan at all if you are conned into asking the dealership to get you a lower interest rate and a best installment, and then the dealer says, yeah, how much do you want to pay? No, it's currently on 6. If you get it below 5, I'll sign. And then they do a balloon payment or residual value, and eventually what happens is you're not aware of it because the F&I also doesn't explain it to you properly. People joining.
Yeah.
Little bit. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We were in two minds whether or not we should do this on Heritage Day. So hopefully the people that joined us get the information and are left better than they found us. It's weird how we used to have like 3 big cameras plus my screen, and they would all project into like different mixers and devices, and now we've got 1 camera.
Yeah, but my laptop.
And then your laptop does the mixing.
No. So the laptop I have at work bombed out yesterday, remember?
Yes, I remember.
On Monday. So that's why this setup is now.
But this is better. This is simpler.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, perfect. So let's jump straight into it. What is a balloon payment or a residual value? It's a large lump sum due at the end of your car finance term. Now, depending on the age of the vehicle, the newer the vehicle, the more of a percentage you can qualify for. And it's something that you have to qualify for. So a 2024 or 2025 will go up to and including 40% balloon. The banks don't really do above 40. But if the customer is strong and he can qualify or she can qualify for it, a 40% balloon is possible. Now, the percentage of the cost price that the bank predicts it will still be worth at the end of the term, this is pushed as the final payment. So if you think about it logically, the bank says, okay, cool. This person will most likely, based on historical data, trade in or sell the vehicle sometime towards the end of the period. What is that car going to be worth so that we can retain him as a customer, meaning after that balloon settlement gets done, we can approach the person again via email, WhatsApp, SMS, jump out the cupboard, phone you, whatever, and offer you vehicle finance again and compete against the other banks to hopefully try and assist you to get that I do something. Am I moving around too much? What's happening else?
Sorry, ek wil jou net center.
Okay, is ek center?
Center reg, ja. Jy kan net dalk 'n bietjie links.
Bietjie links, okay, sharp.
Ja,
All right. Happy,
yeah,
homie?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, madam. Okay, so the percentage of 40 from that car's initial purchase price is more or less what the vehicle is going to be worth at the time of maturity. So the final payment of 40% will be whether you sell the vehicle, that's what it's supposed to be worth. If you buy smart and there's no over allowance or there's no load on your current vehicle, you might even come up with some deposit, but we'll get to that where the sweet spot is just now. But 40% max, the newer the car, the higher the probability you'll get 40%. The older the car, you might only get 5% or 10%. We've seen some of the banks offer like an 8% balloon payment so that we can get the payment in line so that the consumer's affordability is in line. Everything is sweet. We want to be under 6. This is how we get you to under 6 with the 8% balloon payment. But you can't get 40% on a vehicle that is, I suppose, 3 years and older. So only 1 or 2 years old cars may qualify for 40%. Happy with the slide?
Lekker.
Okay, perfect. Now, the purpose of a balloon payment or a residual value is it keeps your monthly installment lower during the term. So think of it this way. You pay less every month, but there is a big amount waiting for you at the end. So huge amount at the end, between whatever 5 and 40%. But during the time that you use the vehicle, you get to enjoy a lighter, smaller installment so that you can still pay the insurance and cover your living expenses and all of that. Okay, how it works. Buying a car for 300,000 Rand, and let's say the bank gives you 30% balloon payment, which is 90,000 at the end. You only finance, realistically, you're paying the installment for 210 over the term. And at the end of the term, you must pay the balloon payment in cash or trade it in, sell it, or refinance the balloon payment. And the trick with the refinancing part is, and this is a very important one, many people miss it. They just say, it's okay, I'll finance the 30%, the 90,000 Rand at the end of the term. You still have to qualify for that finance transaction, which means if you mess your name up in between, the bank says no, then you have to come up with the money or sell the vehicle. It's not a given that you'll qualify for the 90,000 Rand at the end. You still have to go through a process, fill out an application form, send it to the banks. The financial institution just checks whether or not you can afford the payment at your current state, because things change over 72 months. And then they'll be able to present you with a 24-month option or whatever you negotiate with them. But it's not a God-given right that they have to refinance the balloon. You still have to qualify for it. If you trade it in at the end of the term, a 300,000 Rand car, the balloon is 90,000 Rand. That car is worth definitely more than your balloon payment. But worst case scenario, you'll get your balloon payment if you drove lots of miles. So if you do crazy mileage, worst case scenarios, you should get your balloon payment at the end. But normally, you'll get a large deposit outside of settling the balloon payment, because a 300,000 Rand car in 5 years is worth more than 90,000 Rand. That's just logical. Okay, pros, why people choose it. And we'll get into the cons now. Lower monthly installments makes the car more affordable now, which means if you use balloon wisely and correctly, and I love balloon for businesses, because if they take a massive balloon in 36 months when the mileage is like reaching peak, we can just literally take you out of a car that's been working and making you money into another car with a very similar installment, and then off you go to the races again, go and make money again. But Bobby, you won't own a car ever. Well, in certain scenarios, do you really want to own the car? If it's a business, you don't really want to own the car because expenses amount to big maintenance bills. What if there's a failure? Is it out of warranty, etc., etc., etc.? So if it's structured correctly and explained correctly. For example, customers today in South Africa, 32 to 36 months is the sweet spot where they are ready to trade in the vehicle. So 32 to 36 months, cool. We want something else, bigger, smaller, manual, automatic, got a kid, got married, and there's a mother-in-law, there's a rugby team that has to come with us after school activities, etc. 32 to 36 months is sort of the sweet spot. You're trying to get my attention. Is everything okay?
No.
All good? Okay, cool. How many people are watching us? More than one?
120.
Okay, what's up, you legends? All right, Elsie
Yes.
has got a new company car. So you've been driving it one day, Elsie. How many rims have you scratched?
I have not
Two.
scratched a rim, but I
She
did
scratched
drive
two.
in.
What did you drive into?
No, I drove in that two instead of drive.
Oh yeah. So the car's got a park, reverse, neutral drive, and then just to put it in second gear. So we're driving from the depot, but this poor Toyota Starlet is screaming at the top of the. I said, Elsie, wat maak jy? Laat die ding ratterel.
So, maar die ding is dan outomaties.
Okay, so don't scratch rims, Elsie, please.
Yeah,
we need to still sell the car. Now everyone knows you're over revving the cars here. What's cutting, Lani?
I was just texting.
To see if it can rev like a rental. Okay, it can.
Okay.
Can drive a newer, better car without high installments. So you can sort of reach up and you can go about an extra 10, 15% on your already allowed 30% of gross income higher than what you can actually buy for, which means if you can only qualify for an installment of 5, that's the cutoff line. And the car's installment is, let's say, 6350, but now you get to have the fancy model with a kitchen sink inside and a twin Sigiri shaft and all the stuff that you always wanted. A balloon payment puts you smack bang in the middle of a 5,000 Rand installment, and then you can get the car of your dreams. You just need to understand what's coming later on, and you need to structure the deal upfront so that you're aware whether or not you're going to trade it in, obviously settle the balloon payment, trade it in or sell the car. Hey, if you plan to trade it in often, you might never have to pay the balloon in cash. Yes, that's true. So balloon, the two vital questions that I always ask the consumers, and if it's a yes to both of them, I will suggest balloon. If it's a no to any one of them, I will say no, balloon is not the right fit for you. The two vital questions are as following. You, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, are you going to use this vehicle in a mileage that is deemed normal in South Africa? What does normal mean? Normal means between 25 and 26,000 kilometers, 20 to 25, 26,000 kilometers per year. And then they'll tell me whatever they tell me. Let's say, for example, it's a definite yes. Okay, cool. So I don't drive that much. I work mostly from home, whatever. 20,000, 22,000 Ks a year. Okay, good. The second question is, are you the type of person, like the normal South African, average South African, who trades in their vehicle every 32 to 36 months? Or do you want a new car every 6 months? What is your plan going forward? And they'll tell me whatever they'll tell me. If they say, no, I drive my cars long, I like to pay them all for almost when it's paid off or when it's out of warranty, but a minimum of 32 to 36 months, salute, 100%, will definitely offer you the option of balloon. However, if you drive more than 25,000 kilometers on a normal passenger car and you like to trade in your cars very quickly, then balloon is not an option for you, because what happens is with balloon payments, your break-even point comes a lot later if your car's mileage is up and you want to trade it in quickly. So the car will depreciate a lot faster, which doesn't give enough time for the balloon payment to even out so that we can trade in your vehicle without having what we call an over allowance. So an over allowance is the guy bought the car, let's say he drove it for 1 year and he did 45,000 Ks, and in 1 year the customer wants to trade it in. Well, the car is kind of worth less than what your settlement is because the balloon payment kept that 30% or 40% one side, and that's not affected. It's only the other payments that you've made that's affected. So we kind of have a problem. Your vehicle settlement is, sir, 50 or 75 or whatever the number is, over 1,000 over what the car is worth. So now we'll have to put it up on the next vehicle. So that's Key information. Helps with cash flow management, business owners especially. We touched on that subject. If you're a business owner, you never want to own a car, especially if you're doing deliveries, courier, if you're doing Uber, if you're doing Bolt. You never, literally, you don't ever want to own the car, because if the Uber car has been driven by a driver and 90% of them are careful, some of them are not that careful, that vehicle in 3.5 years needs to go out of your fleet and a new vehicle needs to come in. So what if you didn't own the car ever? You don't want to, because what you're doing is you ultimately budgeting installment, income, profit, boom, next. Installment, income, profit, next. Break-even point is 3 years. That's correct. What do you need to do, Alice? Am I moving around again too much?
Sorry, headspace.
Okay, should I stand still like this?
No, you can do your thing.
Okay, thank you.
As long as I can do my thing, then we both have.
Okay, as long as you don't scratch rooms, we cool. How many people on TikTok?
116.
Okay, cool. Cons. What to watch out for. Big payment at the end. You must plan for it. So your debit order number 72 is not going to be 3,800 Rand. It's potentially going to be whatever the balloon payment is, 72,000 Rand. So you need to understand that that last one is coming. So a month or two before the time, the bank will give you a heads up, and then you need to either sell, trade in, or refinance. Those are your options. If the car's resale value drops more than expected, your trade-in may not cover the balloon. Very rare instance, but it is possible. But very rare. But possible. Anything's possible. You may end up stuck refinancing and paying more interest. So that's the other challenge. If you want to refinance that vehicle balloon payment for an additional 24 months, well, it's an additional 24 months worth of interest that you have to pay the bank. And then risk of being in negative equity, owning more than the car is worth. So that break-even point normally happens. That touch point is 32 to 36 months if you haven't driven more than 25,000 kilometers per year at the time you purchase the vehicle. That's it. Can tempt people to buy cars they can't really afford, and that's the bad part. So if you want to buy this vehicle and you want to drive it forever and pay it off, you're going to pay off a lot more of the vehicle in terms of interest than if you bought one in the affordability bracket where you're happy. But if you understand that this vehicle in 3 years, minimum 3 years, if you're driving, let's say you buy a 2-year-old car, it's got 50,000 Ks. If you're driving 25 a year, the vehicle will have 125,000 Ks, just out of warranty, just out of service plan. You're sort of at risk. So if your game plan is every 3 years, I'm going to change my car, I've got a fresh car, it's something like, it's always nice to buy a new car, and you are willing to, in your mind, say, okay, I'm basically just renting this vehicle at a premium, then I get to enjoy the car. I get to enjoy the warranty, the service plan, all the peace of mind that comes from owning a car that's still within plan. And after it's out of plan, I'll just give it back and I'll take another one similar, whatever, bigger, if your family situation changed. And then we'll use that vehicle for another 3 years and then trade up again or trade down, whatever the need is at that stage of your life. And balloon and residual payments are tools that can work for you or against you. The key is to plan for the end, just at the start, not just at the start. So once again, huge fan of structuring the way that the banks have done this. Huge fan of the way that the banks cover their asses at the end. Not a huge fan of F&Is that will just push balloon payment on you and just say, focus on the installment. You want it to be under 5, it's under 5. Sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. Because they use fancy jargon and words that you are not accustomed to. They will say things like the equity, and they'll just confuse you so that you sign a piece of paper and then when you query it, but you sign for the balloon, sir. It happens daily. We have customers coming in here, we're pulling out the settlements. Why is your settlement so high, homie? You've driven the car. I thought you're going to get a deposit out. You've driven the car for 3 years. Your settlement's high. We're not going to have a deposit. We're going to just have to settle the car. What do you mean? And then we dig deep and we see there's a balloon payment. They never told me. And then go and fight with the dealership. The F&I is not there anymore. The manager doesn't know what happened. It's a story. So if you understand it, and if you are 100% in line that you have to drive it for 36 months, 32 to 36 months, and then trade it in where your break-even point is. So if your In Afrikaans, there's a very nice expression. I'm going to say it here on TikTok. As your gat juk, if it's itchy, make sure that the scratch you're going to use is not going to make a ana there, because that's the only time that people get into trouble, is when they don't really understand it, think about it, and plan ahead. Homie, under targeted time. Oh, one more thing I wanted to touch. MFC has got a very, very unique way that they help you with the installment. So it's a balloon payment in reverse. And then every time I say that to them, they laugh at me. They say, Bobby, me and you know that it is, but it's a step-up payment. I say, exactly. So what a step-up payment does is the following. Let's say you take it for 72 months. Year one, your installment is small. Year two, it climbs. Year three, it climbs. Year four, it climbs even more. Year five, it's quite a hefty installment. And they went and they've got the clever guys, the actuaries, they went and did the actual calculations. And they said, okay, perfect. If we're going to be trading this vehicle in at 36 months, which we normally do, how do we structure it so that we can keep the installments as low as possible for the consumer and just keep retaining him with this structure? I'm not going to call it a scheme, because a scheme sounds sleazy. With this structure, it's a very good structure, but it's a step-up payment. If you ever offered step-up payments from the dealership, all you do is send me a screenshot of your podium where the step-up payments are actually described, because they send it on your podium every time when they step up payment. So first 12 months, it's this, then it jumps to that, then it jumps to that, then it jumps to that, then it jumps to that. So if you plan to drive the car till the end, you need to understand that the installment at the end will be higher, 20%, 30%, whatever the percentage is, depending on how you structure it, than the installment was in the beginning of the journey. Having said that, I think we've covered balloon payments, and everybody should be on the same page. We've got an auction tomorrow. Else?
We do. And there is people asking some interesting things.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Shoot.
How old can a vehicle be and still be allowed to take a balloon payment on the car?
Great question. So I have not seen balloon payments easily allowed by the banks on a vehicle that's 6 years old. So 5 years, we can still, 6 years and above, the consumer needs to be really, really strong for the bank to consider. But now, because the banks are competing with each other, there's other avenues, there's other ways that they lower the installment. 84 months, that's a new thing. 96 months, brand new thing. 96 months was never an option for the longest time. It's of late, probably a year ago, we started seeing the banks giving 96 months. But to the point, the question that he asked, how old? Up to 5 years, it's quite easy to get an approval for a balloon payment. 6 years and above, it becomes technical. The banks don't like it. Unless the customer is really, really strong, then they'll consider a balloon.
Cool. And then there is a few questions about cars. So someone's looking for a Suzuki automatic with a black roof.
We have definitely. So 082 542 6659. You are welcome to shoot me a WhatsApp, and as soon as this live is over, I'll give you a call and we can assist you with a Suzuki with a black roof. I think we've got a red one, we have a white one. I know we have two blue ones. We definitely can help automatically.
Awesome. And then Harpy240 is saying, what do you think of the Toyota Suzuki partnership? Love it, but I think it damages the competition.
In which way does it damage the competition between them? Is that what it means? So damage the competition between Toyota and Suzuki. I like the partnership.
Okay.
I think that Suzuki is a very good brand. I like them a lot. I don't necessarily like head office and the way that Suzuki in South Africa is run. So, but that's my opinion and my experience. So, if you ask someone whether they like hot food, Elsie will order Nando's hot, like hot, and I'll order mild because I don't like the sensation of hell in my mouth. But the Suzuki brand is a very cool brand. I think that it's a hip, up and coming. It's already quite dominant. It just needs to become cool amongst younger people, even cooler than it is now. And I thought I could help them do that. They thought I'm too dangerous and too lost corp, and we had a fight. But as a brand, love the brand. Partnering up with Toyota will do two things for them. Firstly, it will solidify the quality that Suzuki has, which is very high. So if Toyota is willing to put their name behind something, behind a product, they believe in the product, and strict manufacturing processes will be followed so that the quality doesn't drop. Toyota is strong. Now, then what does it do to Toyota? Does that damage Toyota? I don't think so. I think it opens more doors for Toyota as well, because they are now penetrating a market which they currently don't own, meaning they are going to go into the small cars, the small segment, the Swifts. They do have similar cars, but all over the world they're going to go into the segments where they are currently not taking market share, where they can compete up. So I think it's a brilliant partnership for both. I'm for it, definitely.
Awesome. And then there is someone that asked, what is this? So I think just explain a customer training and the Masterclass Mondays to them. So
Okay, cool. So every Wednesday, we take a portion of our industry that is misunderstood or not understood at all, and we unpack it from A to Z. So today we did balloon and residual values. What is it meaning? How does it work? Is it a good, bad, or an ugly? We go both ways. So I like to promote something, and then I like to try and punch holes in the theory, and that way you can have a balanced decision. So for me, I don't just listen to my auntie that says, yeah, the government shit, they're stealing all our money, and this and that and the third thing. I say, okay, cool. Did you vote? No, I didn't vote. Okay, cool. Please don't speak to me about the government. And you're not allowed to because you didn't vote. So that's how my brain is wired. So every Wednesday we take a topic and unpack it. Good, bad, and ugly. When is it good to use residual, and when is it bad to use residual? And I leave you with the information. You go out there, buy cars, informed and a good negotiator, as if I was next to you when you purchase a vehicle at a dealership. That's what we do on Wednesday. So we cover various topics every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. On Mondays, we do masterclass where I give, I tend to sort of want to lean towards the audience that everybody's welcome to join, but the audience that is either leading a team or leading a company. I speak on my mistakes I've made in the industry as an entrepreneur, things that I've really screwed up in, how to properly vet people when they come into your corporation, how to interview properly, how to hire, how to fire properly, because the probably my biggest mistake in the last few years was not understanding that if you don't let go of someone with love, you create an enemy. Before you know it, there's a whole line of enemies outside there that want to actively hurt the business. So you're creating competitors, you're not actively wanting to hurt your business. So that's a big thing that we've unpacked before, and that's Mondays. Wednesdays, we do customer training. Tuesdays, we normally have speaking engagements or mentoring calls, coaching calls. So if you want to go deeper into marketing, into leadership, developing leaders, developing killers as salespeople, people book us. There is a fee to that, and it's very private, 90-minute consultation with us. So it's a one-on-one in the studio recorded. It's myself and the entrepreneur or the sales leader, depending on which industry we're consulting for. And that's all recorded, packaged. Elsie sends it to you and your team. This is where your leaks are. This is where the opportunities are. This is what you need to do. Step one, this is what you need to do. Step two, especially the marketing guys. There's a few that we've done where they're really, really bursting out of their seams lately. And I'm proud of them, all of them. And Thursdays and Fridays, we normally do live auctions. We've got a big one tomorrow. There's a couple of very nice cars. There's a Ford Ranger bucket that's so cheap, and it's on a truck from Cape Town. And they keep telling me we're trying our best. Hopefully, it will be here tomorrow. But if that Ford Ranger lands, it's going to be a kick-ass auction. But for now, I know we have 3 booked for tomorrow. 3 very, very nice cars. And it's an auction live. Starts at 5:30. The auction kicks off at 6. I'll tell you about the cars before the time. And then we go. That's
Okay.
it. Anything else?
Riyadh is saying, do you recommend that 2016 BMW from your video or a brand new Amoda C5?
Which BMW? The
I think the one that was on the video this morning or this afternoon at 4:20.
Is it the 320D GT? Yeah, it is, because they're very similarly priced. If it's the 320D GT, Let me just check. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, yeah, no, that car is too nice. That car is very, very
But what
special.
would you?
What would I recommend? So we sell literally an Omoda a day now. Now it's a Ford Ranger a day, a Suzuki a day, and a Omoda a day. Very nice car. Out of all the Chinese cars, I lean towards a Omoda. The more I drive it, else the more I like it because it's set up like the way I want it. It's got the 2 phone chargers, wireless. It's a cool car. It looks nice. I like the look. I don't like the look with the red wheels and it looks like all spaceshipy and stuff. But if it's a like a black one, looks very nice. Um, but the BMW is just that car new is 1.3 million rand, 1.2 million rand. It costs 3 times as much new. I'm not gonna say it's 3 times the quality, but it's a 320D. It's a powerful engine. It's a bulletproof engine. Very nice gearbox. Very nice luxury inside. It just looks cool. It's a tough choice, man. I don't know why I decided to answer that question, but
Because
I'll
I
answer it
asked
this
you
way.
it.
I'll answer it this way, sir. Just buy both, man. And then you
Yeah.
made the right
Don't be
decision.
stingy.
Don't be stingy. Buy both. Or flip a coin. There's a nice, neat trick I'm going to share with you. If you're flipping a coin and you want to make a decision between the two, at the moment the coin is in the air, you are hoping that it lands on the one that you want it to land. Don't even catch the coin, just make that decision. So that's how you flip a coin.
I want to go to Facebook as well and just get a few questions there because
Okay,
I
cool.
saw a lot of comments coming
No
through.
problem. No problemo.
Dat is nou nie jy weet wat noem ons dit diskrimineer nie.
Okay. Ja, ons moet nie diskrimineer
Ja.
asseblief.
Corlia van der Merwe vra, is die inruilwaarde van Toyota en Suzuki min of meer dieselfde?
Yeah, 100%. So Corlia, thanks for the question. We pay strong for both, and it's like quite cyclical with Toyota. There was a stage where Fortuners were fetching like 50, 100,000 rand over trade, and then we were paying like a couple of months later 50, 100,000 rand behind trade on Fortuners. It's legit. The newish ones were not moving. Back in the game, boy, people don't care. They just put 4 or 5 trackers in. Let's go. We want a Fortuner for the family. It's fine. But Suzuki's trade really, really well. What you need to remember as well is those two cars, you can literally go to any dealer. You can go from dealer to dealer to dealer to dealer, and everybody will give you a price. Where with certain brands, there are certain dealers that are known to be able to have the goodies to trade in that vehicle. Toyota, Suzuki, both as good. Which one trades better? I wouldn't know. I think both are equally good. I think both are equally good. Yeah, definitely.
Great stuff. Let's go to YouTube. Let's see if there's anything there. Just Rick Morty saying, I'm a big fan, Uncle Bobby.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a kick-ass Heritage Day. And no matter what heritage you are, just make sure that you're lacquer. That's all. That's all. And represent. Boom.
Okay.
Done. In
Done.
time. Almost every time.
Well done.
Second week in a row, in time. Hopefully you guys understand residual and balloon payments a lot better than you did before you joined the live. Between now and tomorrow, I'm excited about the auction. Have yourselves